Wake shows up. I mean, the kid, I've known the kid, I say kid, he's kind of growing up now. I've known him for quite some time. I've seen him play. You know, he's a super great guy. His dad, as you know, coaches Dynasty, Dan Wake, and I've been on the receiving end of Dan Wake coaching me when I was on Aftermath. Very heads-up guy, very smart. It depends what Zach Wake shows up. He's grown up now a lot. He's maturing, and I think by being with Mike Hinman, that guy will mature you out real quick. You don't lip off very much to him, Mike Hinman, as you all know.
Yeah.
You know, but I think I've seen a lot of improvement out of Zach Wake. He doesn't. I think he has a different mentality. He has some good support behind him with Dynasty, and I mean, like I said, it all depends which Zach Wake shows up.
Yeah. And on the flip side, you got Chattanooga CEP. Again, still, their rookie season was last year. It's an interesting story, though. Paintball used to be about tribalism. It used to be about picking the hardest guys from your area, the toughest guys, the best guys at paintball in that particular geographic location, rolling with those guys, and having respect in your area and where you're from. And that's what Chattanooga's about. They got homegrown talent. They're very proud of that fact. They worked really hard to get here, working their way up the divisional ranks. They took their lumps like men last year. And like I was saying before, gave some really great teams a good run for their money. So I'm really excited to see what CEP is going to bring to the table this year. I talked to Robbie Goldsmith, leader on that squad. He's pretty confident. They're young, they're fast, they're aggressive. Evan Fife plays the snake real well for them. I think it's going to be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, I really can't wait to see, what team shows up, because, in all sports, you can come out, you're fresh, and you can either, be good or you can be a flop, and I think that they did have a decent amount of success that could give them confidence to play well this year, but you could also sophomore slump, they could come out here and just, act like they didn't learn anything from the year before. They need to build on everything that they learned from last year and come out here and try and do things better than they did last year. Not just come out with the same approach, but I heard that they've been down there grinding. They are very proud to be where they're from, and, they do want to come out here and make a statement.
Yeah. And we saw that first match. Man, I really hope you guys got a chance to check that out. If not, it will be online shortly next week. And we could not have asked for a better match to start the season. I hope that's a sign of things to come. And we saw a bunch of different things happen. I think the biggest note to take out of that game was the referees. They're not playing around this year. And I didn't see one shady call out there. I think it was pretty straight up. And they basically made a statement. It's like, hey, you guys are going to have to play clean or you're going to pay for it. Both teams did. X Factor just able to squeak it out there at the end against the Ironman. So it's going to be interesting to see. Did these guys learn from the other team's mistakes, or are they going to try to ride that aggressive line and pay for it as well?
Well, the best thing that you can ask from these referees is to be consistent. The referees got to be out there. They got to set the bar for what what's going to be allowed, what's not. A lot of these players have been around for a long time, but a lot of these refs have also been around for a long time. So, I mean, I think for the majority of these players have been able to establish, what you can and can't get away with. So these guys, they're all smart players. I think, that X Factor Ironman game was a crazy game, but both of these teams, I hope not. I hope we don't see a lot of penalties coming out here, but these guys are both going to come out here and work hard and try and win this game without getting penalties.
All right, so we've got about 45 seconds to go for the start of this first match. CEP in black and Dynasty, as always, in that solid blue, coming out of San Diego. And as far as how the field's been playing, it was kind of really tough to tell that first game. There's so much going on, a lot of penalties. So, Todd, again, Todd coaches infamous, and you've been able to see how this field's been breaking down in practice. So when people just tuning in, just give us a quick rundown.
Well, that first game was a pretty good indicator. We saw teams trying to take big bites on both sides. We saw players walking off the snake side in bunches. We saw people taking big risks off the break towards the Dorito side. Guys were making it there, but guys were also getting bounced there a lot. So, I mean, we're going to see if guys are going to continue to take those breaks. I know Dynasty likes to pull short, shoot guns, be alive, but here's the break.
All right, here we go off the break, and that's Zach Wake for Dynasty, and you see that cross-field spread for them, able to get some penetration on both sides. It's 5 alive for both teams. Note, looks like CEP loses a player on that middle side of the field as they're trying to play aggressive, just like they had talked about. Oh, look at this, Zach Wake getting shot, and that's not going to be good. Good news for Dynasty over here on the snake side of the field, is they're pretty much, Dynasty has guys all the way in the back line, and it looks like better field position right now for CEP as they have a little bit more ground there in the center, Chris.
Both teams taking it easy on each other. I mean, Zach taking it easy, slow playing this right now. I think they're trying to feel each other out. Zach, he didn't try to take out more than he could chew. I think he just made a move, so
Now CEP making moves on that middle side.
You know, I got to give CP making that big move, that first Dorito up there. That was a big move. You know, that was taking off a big chunk. Getting caught, he's slipping in, but it was still a good move. I like to see their aggression out there.
Yeah.
The thing is too is that you want to establish, you know, that we're gonna take ground. We're not scared to come down this side.
Especially
So,
when you're playing Dynasty.
you know, I mean, first game of the day for both these teams. You know, CEP just checking to make sure Dynasty's away.
Great shot of Yosh Rao right now. Yosh Rao, really the glue that holds Dynasty together. There's so many charismatic personalities on there.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I like what I'm seeing on CEP right here. They're making aggressive moves, Matty. You know, just like you talked about, slow playing, but they're still making those quick moves.
Yeah.
Number 7 right there.
And they're in the snake right now. Look at this. And, you know, he immediately checked off down the line and then starts looking inside.
That's number 7, having a fight right there for CEP.
Oh, look at this. CEP losing a guy out of that Dorito side, just getting shot out of his bunker. And now they're trying to do damage control. And here comes San Diego Dynasty plowing down the field. Looks like Alex Frazier is going to run up that center. He's going to grab the flag. A nice job by Oliver Lang and Dalton Vanderbilt over on the Dorito side of the field, and Yosh Rao. So real solid point there in the middle part of that point, because, you know, and this is a problem with the younger teams a lot of times. You get a good break, and then all of a sudden guys are pondering, okay, what do I do? They're starting to think about it too much. We saw a couple guys die out of their bunkers, and even though they had good field position here in the snake, not able to do anything with it.
Well, the one thing that CEP did was take that inside temple on the snake side. Well, that inside temple has a really good shot to lock off the Dorito side of the field. They know that Dalton Vanderbilt's a really aggressive player, that he wanted to come down there, and that guy did do a good job of keeping Dalton at bay for a long time, but because they risked that body going really far on the Dorito side on the break, and then they lost their next guy going up there, that guy, his job is really kind of, you know, really didn't get any production out of that because he's locking it off to help his guys get up, and his guys got shot going up there. So you're using the body on the snake side to hold down the Dorito side, so you're not getting any attack towards the snake side. And so, I mean, that's kind of where that game broke down for them.
Yeah.
Well, like I saw, CEP was in good field position. They were in Dynasty playing very controlled, shooting their lanes, just kind of sitting back. You see CEP get in the snake, and then all of a sudden, as soon as CEP loses their Dorito guy, bam, Dalton's under 50, and then the game's almost over. I mean, it happens just that quick against a team like Dynasty.
And I'll tell you what, an interesting point. Zach Wake got shot on that snake side, and they're going to need production out of him. But again, they have such a solid lineup. They were still able to get it done, able to shoot some guys out of the bunkers. And now you're looking at Sean McDonald. That's Sean Crunchy McDonald there, left-hand portion of your screen. And Ryan Greenspan, he's also out as the second line comes out for Dynasty. And there's Rusty Glaze. So it was actually interesting. Rusty Glaze, he had a kid in the offseason. And with Detroit, with Infamous's rebuild, and really, they're focusing their team out of the Midwest right now. And with Rusty's life, he works with Todd at Golden State Paintball, and he's got a new baby, his wife. He's really not able to commit to that practice grind and then have to do that travel. But, it worked out for him. Came out, tried out for Dynasty, and, with Rusty, it's like, they know what they're going to get out of Rusty. It's not really he's got to, go try out. It's more like, hey, bro, do you want to play?
Yeah, it fits a good role for him. They needed that. It could work out well for him.
CEP right there, making a snake all the way in the break. Dynasty losing Rusty Glaze in the break right there. CEP getting aggressive up here. Cherry, number 76. Dynasty losing 2 players, 3 on 5 right now. 3 on 4, I'm sorry, Matty.
Yeah, and look at this. Cherry is just wrecking it in the snake right now. He's in a good field position. That's the thing. When you get in this field position, when you up bodies like this, you really just got to kind of chill out, I mean, yeah, if you get a kill, if somebody's going to give you a move, but the most important thing is to just take a beat.
I'm telling you, 4 on 3 right now. Dynasty's still not in bad field position, but Cherry is going to work. Let's see what he can do. This is another, for example, let's see how his players back him up.
Yeah, you got Oliver Lang in the temple on the Dorito side, backed up by Andy Vohorvat. Sean McDonald's the last player alive over here on the snake side as Oliver moves into the Dorito 1.
That's a bold move by Oliver. Oh, look at this, and now it's all tied up with 3 bodies each. And here comes Oliver Lang just feasting over there on the Dorito side. He takes out a player. He gets taken out himself. It's 2 on 2 as Sean Crunch McDonald makes his move into the 50-yard line snake.
Major penalty on CEP.
Oh, and Crunchy just makes 5 wear it. Nice job by Crunchy to put a little exclamation point at the end of that particular match right there.
Absolutely, and big move by Oliver Lang to shoot the player and then come up and bunker the Dorito 1 out. Got 3 players and got a penalty called on CEP, so huge turn of events for CEP as they made that snake on the break.
Yeah.
But Oliver Lang came through.
Yeah, that's why Oliver's Oliver, you know. Yeah, it's a tough thing when you're down bodies to make a big move like that and get in that position, and then not only to make that bump into guns, but then to do something with it, which he did. And look at that, you know, it's one of the questions about Sean McDonald is that, yeah, he was a top-level player, and he was getting really good with the Ironmen in their, you know, in that run, that World Championship, that run they had for a couple years, mid-2000s, 2006, 2007. Now, he's been out of the game for a little bit. You know, it's 2012 now, but Crunchy's been around the game for a long time. The biggest question with him was, well, could he still keep up with the pace of this particular, of the level of play right now? And I think that we're starting to get that answer.
Well, what they like about him is that he's an athlete. And not only is he an athlete, he's a rather small guy.
Yeah.
You know, so, I mean, we're talking about earlier how small the snake side of the field is with all these low bunkers. It actually works out pretty well. I'm sure Skinny Kevin was thinking the same thing with the Ironman by sending Kyle Spica, Eric Humphreys over this side of the field.
Yeah, these bunkers are bitty over here.
That just kind of seemed to work out, but I'm sure Dynasty was not, you know, to replace Alex Golden on the snake side. They weren't too upset about having a guy who was small, fast, you know, make spots, get in the snake and be alive.
Yeah, because Alex Goldman is 6 foot tall. All right, let's check out this replay right here. The score 2-0. All right, so you're looking at the eye in the sky here, and that's Cherry in the snake. He did a great job of getting in there, but look at that. Loses his gunfight. He loses his gunfight to Sean McDonald, and then here comes Crunchy. Look at this. He sees it, adjusts his mask boot, he giddies up, and he's just going to make Fife wear it right here. Bam! Handles his business. Nice job by Sean McDonald. And that was, again, I love to see that. I like seeing guys put it on other guys because, look, man, start of a new season, you see that window, go take somebody out. And let them know, hey, look, kids, you know, I understand you guys, I give you respect and everything, but this is big boy league right here. And that was also big boy play, especially by Oliver Lang on the Dorito side.
Yeah, it also does wonders for your confidence for both Oliver and Crunchy to come out. Oliver to get 3 kills, Crunchy to bunker somebody. You know, they're going to be anxious to come right back in the game again, too.
Yeah, especially when you go out there and, I mean, they're down on buys. It's 5 on 3, or 4 on 3. Cherry's in this snake over here. Oliver still makes that aggressive move, and that sometimes works out for you. Like you said, he goes up there, shoots 2 players, gets a major penalty pulled on one of them, so that's 3 bodies. Plus, now they're up a body. So if you think about it, they're still in a driver's seat on this game. 5 on 4 to start in the break, and that's bad deal against Dynasty because they always shoot really well in the break anyway.
Did anyone see what that penalty was on?
Yeah, it was Oliver coming down the Dorito side, shot his mirror in the back, and the guy continued to shoot over this way at this side of the field. The judge has seen it run over there. Oliver got shot in the process, but then they pulled the penalty on him, and then this is the result.
All right, here we go on the breakout. Dynasty heavy guns up as they make some aggressive moves on that Dorito side. They lose Yosh Rao, trying to get to that stand-up can. And it looks like 4 on 4 as CEP also loses a player. Oh, they lose another player. Out of that center, it looks like that's Robbie Goldsmith getting taken out for CEP. So
get the snake. I don't even know he's there. He's just going to come up and feast on people.
And here comes Zach Wake. No one knows he's in there right now. Oh, and he immediately gets a couple G's. And he's coming downfield. And, oh, he might have got taken out. No, he's still alive. Nice job by Zach Wake, just playing masterfully over here on the snake side of the field.
And we talked about that earlier. You get in that snake and people know you're there. You can just feast. You know, I mean, you can't get tunnel vision tied. You talked about it. Some of these bunkers are there's a lot of stuff to look through. You got to watch your lanes.
You know, it's also interesting that we're seeing, like we just saw Zach Wake get in there. No one knew he was in. Then we saw Crunchy make a good counterpunch move on that side. And I think we're going to continue to see the play ramped up over here. I really like this new snake setup over here. Well, it's substantially different, but, you know, different's good a lot of times. Makes these guys try to have to evolve their game.
Well, that Dorito side is really fast. You know, our players are making it all the way to that tower on the break every time. I mean, we've seen 2 games now. Players are running there. I think I've seen more players get shot out of the can back behind the tower than that tower on the Dorito side. So, I mean, if you got a slow side over here on the snake side, you know, this big, you know, elaborate snake, it's still going to be kind of difficult to slow play it if people are just flying down that Dorito side.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm looking at later in the game, you know, you get 2 really solid snake players going head to head in this snake, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how it plays out. I mean, it's going to be right in people's faces over here. You know, you can see people flying down the Dorito side, and it's just with 2 super aggressive teams that, I mean, are on their game. I'm really looking forward to see how it plays out, how aggressive people are.
Yeah, the game I'm really looking forward to is the game at the end of the day, our 4:15 game, and that's Houston Heat versus Boston Red Legion. Or I'm sorry, Moscow Red Legion now, which is what they should be called.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and honestly, looking at the two teams, it's kind of a grudge match because Houston Heat, as you guys know, picked up Fedorov. Who else they get on that?
They got Fedorov, they got Mishka, and I think Schlitznikov.
Sergey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look at Fedorov, Sam Monville, Mikhail. Yeah, what's his last name? What's Mikhail's last name?
Mishka?
Mishka.
Kizhnev.
See, I'm pretty bad at that, so I apologize.
So am I. I may be butchering that.
Nick Slowiak, Chad Boucher, that's Jed. Yeah,
They
right
got
there.
a stacked roster, man.
Yeah.
No joke.
John
Houston
Woodley.
Heat has a stacked roster. The question is, you know, hey, man, that's the candle burning at both ends. You know, I can't, and I respect the ability to put a team together like that. I can't wait to see it play. All right, here we go. CEP started with 4 bodies, Chris. Yeah, and now they lose to CEP, having a tough start here. And Dynasty, 5 players alive, and their heavy guns is Crunchy McDonald over here, number 2. He's going to get into Snake 1. And Sean's playing good, man. Sean's playing crisp right now.
Yeah, didn't even skip a beat.
Now it's 5-on-2, and here comes Oliver Lang. I really like this Oliver Lang on the Dorito side, and Sean Crunchy McDonald, and here that's going to do it. And this is some quick points. Dynasty is making a statement right now as they're putting on CEP. The score is going to be 4-0, and we have just cracked the 15-minute mark. And that minor penalty is going to come off for CEP. In case you guys are unfamiliar with the way the penalties are, Todd, break that down for everybody.
Well, if you get a yellow flag, it's a minor penalty. You spend 1 minute and 30 seconds in the box. If your team loses that point during the penalty, then it does come off and you go back to full strength. If you get a major red flag penalty, you spend 2 minutes in the box, and that major does not come off if you lose the point. So you have to grind out the full 2 minutes with down a player until that 2 minutes runs out.
So the score is now 4-0. It's been all San Diego Dynasty so far. And CEP, man, if I were their coach, I don't know. I was a big fan of screaming in the pits and trying to get people up because to me that's how I played. You know, I wanted to be vocal. I needed that from my teammates. Some guys aren't like that, like John Richardson, very quiet. David Williamson was kind of half and half. He'd always kind of try to say he wouldn't be that guy, but then he'd lose it and throw stuff and try to want to punch people and stuff. You know, so but if I was CEP, I'd be in their huddle, I'd be in their pits and be like, hey guys, what's going on out here, you know?
Well, if you look, you know, the first 4 points, they tried to go really far on the Dorito side. It cost them. You know, they tried to play defensive on the Snake side and go hard over there. The very next point, they ran to the Snake real hard, made it, but then didn't get anything out of it because they got all blanked. And now then they got a penalty at the same time. So they lost their first 2 points trying to go big, which was cool because we wanted to see them come out, you know, and be aggressive, but they didn't get anything out of it. And then they got a penalty, which cost them a point, and now it cost them another point. So it's that quick that you can end up in a 4-0 hole 6 minutes into the game, or actually 5 minutes and 9 seconds into the game.
Yeah.
You know, so now I'm sure this isn't the way that they drew up their game plan last night. They were talking about how they wanted to get started.
Yeah,
so.
probably not. But that's how quick. This again. It's a game of momentum. Dynasty's got all of it right now. So they need to dig deep and get it back here. Let's see if CEP on the breakout. Again, they start with 4 bodies. They got 22 seconds left on that major penalty that they had. So it's 5-on-4 right now at Dynasty. 2 players in that back center. Look at CEP on your screen right now. Look at how much paint is coming in on the CEP player. Look at that. 2 players in the back, and that's Alex Frazier all the way. He's able to get out there.
CEP in that temple on the inside, on the Snake side, trying to lock up Dalton Vanderbilt.
5-on-5, full strength now for CEP.
Yeah, so 5-on-5, they finally get that guy out. Here comes CEP trying to make moves on the Snake side of the field, and I think he got taken out. And look at this.
I think it bounced actually.
And Wake riding the aggressive edge there. Wake gets taken out.
The CEP is in a cross. They're up at what we call the command center usually, which is the big bunker in the center of the field, crossed up with that inside temple. So they're using the inside approach to try and lock off opposite sides of the field, and their Snake player is slowly making bumps up. Their Dorito attacker is still in that back can, looking to get a move up, but he's staring straight on into Glenn Takamoto.
Yeah, that was Glenn Takamoto on your screen right there. He's in that back center bunker, which is not the biggest bunker in the world. You know, neither is, well, Glenn's not the biggest guy. It's 4-on-4 right now, evened up. This is, I mean, huge. We talk about momentum swings. This CEP has to win this point right now.
Yeah, and and a minor penalty on CEP. They just, I mean, these mistakes right here, they can't be making mistakes. This is what separates them from Dynasty in this one. One player alive on CEP is 4-0. You know, and I'm not going to lie, I'm a big fan of CEP on the break. I really think that they need to control themselves a little better, make a little crisper moves, and support each other. I see the people making individual moves that are good for themselves, and in essence, if the team plays behind them, it'll work out for them, but they're just not getting the support that they need.
Yeah, Fife definitely deserved that penalty. I mean, got shot in the loader, didn't come off right away. The ref was running towards him. I mean, he definitely deserved it. And you know, you just can't get those penalties right now. Definitely not being down 4-0. But you know, you mentioned you really like CEP on the break, but being awesome on the break, you can't be awesome on the break every time.
Yeah.
You know, you got great shooters. You know, I'm very lucky. I got Travis Lemansky, who's been a pro player for like 19 years now. You know, he's like a Rasheed Wallace or a John Sally. You know, he's just like that guy that, you see, I can't remember his name right now, but he's one of those guys that he's a smart veteran pro player. He's not going to run to the 50 Dorito on the break, but what he will do for me is he will shoot a guy on the break at least 80% of the time.
Absolutely.
And that is
I can
huge.
attest to that.
But CEP is not getting that done, and if Dynasty, if you don't get at least a couple of those guys on the break and make them scramble to where they can just continue to work their game plan, then, I mean, you're going to be down 5-0.
Yeah.
And with 7 minutes
Yeah,
gone in this game.
and I think, honestly, it comes down to the evolution of teams and players knowing the rules. It's great if you can have, we got guys that can play everywhere and we're fast, this and that. That's great and everything, but I'll tell you what, I'd rather give me 5 guys that know what the rules are. I'll take that any day of the week. Give me a Crunchy, give me a Yosh, give me a Travis.
It makes it so much easier.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, yeah, Travis is not running to the 50-yard line off the break, but but he's gonna shoot somebody off the break.
From the hip.
Exactly.
He shoots like Todd Adamson.
Yeah, and you need that guy. You need a Chris Hooker. You need a Dave Baines. You need a Mike Paxson. You need a Yosh Rao. You need a Travis Mansky. Of course, and then you need to have your Evan Fifes, guys like for CEP that run the snake. But then you need those Ryan Greenspans too, And I think that with CEP is that they're probably still in that stage where they're just trying to figure out what those roles are, and then once you figure out your role, executing it's a whole other thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the thing about CEP right now, though, too, is their farthest guy out on the snake side, he ran into his bunker, and he is shooting towards the Dorito side.
Crunchy in the snake on the break. He's going to go to work.
Wow, Crunchy is just... Oh, but he got a little too much over the top. Got a little greedy on his gunfight right there. So right now it's 4-on-4. Both teams.
Right there, CEP losing their corner guy. 4-on-3 right now.
CEP's just having a hard time getting started right now. You see Ryan Greenspan, and you're looking at CEP. Look at CEP. They're just, they got a guy kind of hiding right now. And they look at Ryan Greenspan rolling his gun, just standing over the top of his bunker, and he's going to get right into Snake 1. Ryan is such a methodical player, man. What he's doing, it's almost like he's not really thinking about it because he's done it so much.
He's a phenomenal shot, too. I mean, getting in a gunfight with Ryan is never good.
Well, if you were to kind of want to create the perfect paintball player, and I don't want to blow Ryan's ego up much, but he's real fit. He's an athlete. He's a smaller guy. He's really smart. He's very aggressive, and he's a great shot. You put all that together in one guy, and that's why he's been at the top of the game for so long.
Yeah, it's obvious to me he learned all that from Chris and I.
All the punishing we've given him over the years.
I'm just kidding.
Oliver taking off. I'm not. Respect, lifeguards. I love Ryan.
So look at this, CEP just having a hard time staying alive in their bunkers. All the ground is taken by Dynasty, and Dynasty is going to put yet another point. The score is going to be 6-0, and they are going to be 1 point away from a victory and also 1 point away from a shutout. And that is not the way you want to start a season if you're CEP, especially when you're trying to make a statement. And like you said, Todd, sophomore year. I don't know, man.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to end up in a sophomore slump, but good for them. They have another game today. They'll get a fresh start to start all over. But, I mean, just from game plan-wise, looking at how they're breaking out, even when they did have it, they're shooting across the field a lot. And on some fields, that really works. I mean, on Dynasty, we definitely won a tournament like that just because the nature of that field. I'm just not so convinced that this is that type of field. CEP, they're taking that big break and crossing it up. That last point over there, they ran one guy out to the snake side of the field into that inside temple, and he looked across into the Dorito side. So who was watching the snake side? Nobody. and here comes Crunchy all the way to the 50, got a kill, and then got shot.
Yeah,
But
I want to see if I'm the coach, I'm like, okay, hey Crunch, tune it back just a little bit, but amazing job. I love your vision right now. Your timing's impeccable.
Exactly.
And that was the question, like we talked about. Is Crunchy still going to have that timing, or did that get lost in the shuffle in the couple years he was away from the game? It's not. I mean, he's showing it right now. You know, now obviously CEP, and I don't want to take anything away from him, but they're not showing us their best game right now. So we'll see, you know, if Crunchy gets a little bit better luck with competition, what happens. But I still really like what I'm seeing out of there because, again, one of the really big personnel questions out of Dynasty is Zach Wake and Crunchy going to be able to do the damage that Alex Golan was doing for him last year? That was the big, I mean, because how important is the first snake guy in? That's the most important guy on the field. That's your leadoff hitter, essentially.
And they also lost the consistency of Stephen Pitts, who is a guy that, you know, like Ryan Greenspan, can play anywhere. I mean, Ryan Greenspan plays in the back center for them because he's such a finisher, you know, and he's such a good shot. But Stephen Pitts was also one of those guys that you could put him in the snake, you could run him to the 50 Dorito. I mean, he was notorious for running up to the center of the field to the A on aftermath, you know. So I mean, just the consistent play out of that. You know, Zach can be really hot, really cold. Crunchy can be really hot, really cold.
And Zach's been hot or cold so far. You know, he hasn't had the best game so far. You know, he's not doing bad. All right, so here we go. And we're looking at CEP on your screen right now as they try to make it in, and they try that aggressive move, and they get shot off the break. So it's 3 on 5 right now, and no, four on 5 right now. This is, you know, CEP needs to win. I mean, there is a lot of time left on the clock if they want to try to come back and get in this game. But dude, you do not want to start your first match with the 7-0 skunk. That's disaster right there. You don't want to get in that headspace.
Absolutely not. Zach Wake walks off, but Dynasty is shooting 3 guns toward the snake side every time.
Yeah.
So they're really making it hard for CEP to do anything on the snake side of the field.
You know, it was interesting because Dynasty struggled in practice against Infamous yesterday, Todd, out here as they're, you know, practicing, and they seem to have gotten it together, whatever sort of issue they had, as they look very dominant right now against CEP. And after this matchup, we have coming at you Aftershock going to take on Thunder, and we'll break that down here shortly. But let's see if Dynasty can polish off CEP here with 9 minutes and 58 seconds left to play.
You know, I think at Dynasty right now they're kind of chilling, you know, I think they might be just learning the field right now, not being too aggressive. You know, I think they want the 7-0. That means they're going to be +7 on the board.
Oh,
you know,
plus 7's huge.
That +7's huge. I mean, especially depending what division you're in. But no matter what, +7's always huge.
Yeah.
I think Dynasty's already opening up the cap on the turtle wax. They're getting ready to put the finishing touches on the 67 vet over here.
It's a little cold, guys, but I mean, I'm telling you, it's not raining like it was earlier. We had a little sprinkle earlier, so we can't complain too much.
Yeah,
I guess.
well, I mean, I don't want to jinx us, but we're being spared from the wrath right now.
Yes, and I can see some clear skies, you know, coming up at us. So I'm not going to say the sun's going to come out or anything, but hey, you know.
All right, so, you know, methodical point right here by Dynasty. You're going to see this all day, every day from a team that's up 6-0 with the head about them. You know, you're looking right now, it's Dalton Vanderbilt on your screen at the 50-yard line. Dorito.
Takes one in the noggin.
Dalton plays a game of catch over there, and he's going to come off, so he's probably going to get a mouthful from Mike Himman about that. You can see it, look, he's shaking his head, hitting himself on the head. Knows he made a mistake there. And CEP, look at this, they're searching for shots right now. 4 players left alive for CEP. I was going to say, it looks like he wants to make a move. Always can tell by the body language of the player what he wants to do. He's able to get into that bunker, 40-yard line, insert bunker right behind the snake, Chris.
Yeah, these guys, this is CEP. I like what I've seen earlier. You know, playing a little slow, you know, making their moves, looking for their shots. You know, but one thing, watch when CEP moves, their guns are down, their heads are up. But when Dynasty moves, gun up, head up, they're shooting their way into their bunkers. That's one thing that CEP just really isn't doing right now. I think that's something they got to get going.
The other thing CEP isn't doing is considering maybe we should get in that snake. They have the bodies and the field position, but they're content just to sit back here, and they're really trying not to lose right now. They really don't want to go down, you know. But I mean, if this is a closer game, you'd probably see CEP trying to make a move as he finally gets up out of that race bunker and gets into the snake.
Yeah,
I'd like to see them do something with this right here. I mean, I'd like to see them get a point on the board. I want to see them, you know, kind of learn the field a little bit. So when they do come back out here later, you know, they don't make the same mistakes they made the first game.
Of course, CEP, you know, they have been around for a year now. They know that you can't just go charging into Alex Ragey, Yosh Rao, and Glenn Takamoto.
No, absolutely.
Hey, and their next games against X Factor, which just had a bloody knuckles game against the Ironman. And so X Factor's ready to roll.
Picking up paint off the ground in the rain, that is always fantastic.
Yeah, I'm always a real big...
I'm a big fan of it.
Well, it's just, you know, if you're playing Dynasty and they're up 6-0, it's going to be a long point, you know? It's going to be a long point, so you got to carry extra pods out at that point. So tense moments right here as Dynasty is just hiding in their bunkers, and all CEP's looking at is tips of barrels and edges of goggles right now. So CEP in very good field position. I mean, they have, you know, Egerton over here is in number 24 and is in great field position, 50-yard line Snake, and they also have the 50-yard line Dorito. But time is not their fan right now at 6 minutes and 40 seconds left, and they have to score 6 points to tie. And I mean, you know, come on, this Dynasty is overwhelmingly in a position of dominance right now.
Well, the other thing you don't see CEP doing is really kind of trying to talk to each other and figure out how they're going to break this game open. I mean, they're up in, you know, I mean, they're in both pins behind they're in the 50 Snake. I don't think Egerton really, he may not be in the best spot to get the shot on the guy he wants to, which is that Dorito side corner guy. I mean, maybe he might want to consider moving up in the Snake a little bit, look for a better shot, or, you know, get one of these guys in the middle.
He's good for their cake, what he needs to do, shoot across the field, because if he gets it for their cake, he's actually in a blind spot from Yosh route. He can back up a little bit, shoot Glenn Takamoto. See right there, getting a shot, going to that X right there. That was Brown, number 92 CEP.
Not a great move.
You know, I really want to see these guys do well. I mean, they're likable guys. They're a young team, like you said, Maddie. They've been playing for a year. You know, and I think they're only going to get better.
Hey, the road is long, man. You know how it is. If you're trying to put together a winning franchise and you don't want to go down the road to buy a pro or buy multiple pros, then you really just got to understand that it's going to take time to develop your skills, time to figure out those role players, time to learn the other teams, and that's where CEP's right now. So they basically need to clock in and go to school for a little bit.
Well, they're getting taught a hard lesson right now, I'll tell you that much.
And they're definitely going to break the cross.
Well, I like what they're doing. I mean, they are smartly making moves up the field and not losing guys at this moment. And they're going against a tough cross, but time is starting to tick off this clock as we cross that 5-minute mark, and you know it just doesn't look like they're going to win this game, obviously. But that's the thing, is that you got to keep things in perspective. So okay, yeah,
it's on the head.
Yeah, it's
great shot right there by Alex Frazee. Fresh eggs.
And now he's going to Alex Frazee.
Oh,
goggles come off, and I think that he's going to be eliminated if his goggles come off. Yeah, so unfortunate turn of events for Alex as he loses his goggles, and you know, in the rules, if your goggles come off, you're eliminated.
CEP now with both remaining players get a lucky break with Alex's goggles coming off. But both remaining players, one of them picking up paint, and they're both about 10 feet from each other.
I think they're both picking up paint, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
it looks like
he's brushing off the grass off those couple balls before he puts them in there.
Glenn Takamoto and Yosh Rao keeping it tucked in, communicating amongst each other very well.
Yeah, Glenn's talking with his hands right now. He's talking to the sideline. Oh, pick somebody up right now. Can you see, Todd, how much paint he has on his back? Does he have a decent amount of paint? He's got to be running low. He's got one pod.
Glenn definitely has a pod left. I can't see Yosh Rao in the corner.
It looks like Yosh is out of paint. That's Yosh Rao, Glenn Takamoto on your screen, and you're looking at him just pick up paintballs right now. Bartley.
That's never a good sign.
He's got 2 shots. Or Huntley. So it's Huntley, number 69 for CEP. He's at the center A, and he has about 3 paintballs that are covered in mud and grass in his loader right now.
Nick Huntley, CEP. One of their you know, more intelligent players. You know, he plays some good ball. He makes some good moves. I mean,
yeah, that's the thing. That's why I have faith in CEP. I think that if they can keep the focus and understand where they're at in their evolution of their game right now, I think that they'll be okay. But they just have to understand that, you know, even though they're coming in and they wanted to make a statement, this is not the statement that they wanted to make. But winning this point at least, and this is the longest point we've seen so far in this event, because this field's playing fast. This field's playing real fast.
Not right now.
Yeah.
But that's what happens. Making a move. Nice move by
Oh,
CEP.
look at this CEP. Trying to make
Did
something
he
happen.
get Yosh?
I think he might have got there. I didn't see any
Oh,
breaks
nice
on it.
move by CEP.
Yeah, nice job.
See, go down swinging. And now Glenn Takamoto's out of paint. I know he's not nervous.
He's pulling his last pod right now. It
yeah.
is a one-on-one with the last CEP player in
Look,
the A.
it looks like he doesn't want to load the last spot. He's like, nah,
He's like,
I'm good. I got maybe 15 balls left in here. So it's just Huntley and Glenn Takamoto. Huntley, does he know how many bodies are left alive?
Oh. Did he just get shot?
Glenn's like, I'll just shoot him.
So kind of an anticlimactic one-on-one for that last point, and
Did he even get shot?
he must have.
I
hope he did.
I think it's a big hit on his loader. Honestly, yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna say he just walked on the field. Because I mean, I would have picked up one ball and ran right at Glenn.
Nah, you could see.
I would have threw it at him. Good game by Dynasty. The penalties hurt CEP real bad.
Yeah.
Penalties have decided games back and forth, man. I mean,
and they've been legit.
yeah, man.
I think it's been legit.
It's very unfortunate on the receiving end. You know, it's too bad. You know, I want to see these games go 5-on-5s. I want to see some, you know,
Like the first game.
the first game
Couldn't have been better.
Amazing game. Ironman X Factor. I mean, like you said, it was a bloody knuckles game, and wow.
Well,
I mean,
you know, and this is again, there's a lot of unanswered questions heading into this season. So, for Dynasty, could Crunchy step up and fill the place of Alex Goldman? Answer is yes so far. Hold on, before we break that down, let's check out this replay here from that. Look, yeah. So you're looking at that's Yosh Rao, top of your screen. Look at that, Glenn Takamoto. Wow. I don't know who that was from CEP, but that guy is fast.
I know.
Real fast. And he was able to take out Yosh. So I don't know if Glenn
I think Glenn shot Yosh.
Well, either that or Glenn just missed him. That's possible.
I would have shot Yosh.
Well, Glenn was
If I was Glenn, I would have shot Yosh in the back right there. 100%.
That kid is blaze fast. Did you see that?
He was fast. That was great.
So the score is going to be 7-0, complete and utter dominance by San Diego Dynasty. And like we were saying, Todd and Chris, well, Dynasty answered some questions for us. Now, CEP didn't give them quite the game they probably would have wanted to have. I mean, yeah, you want that to the 7+ on the point spread there. But I thought Crunchy played well.